Let me tell you all something. When it comes to being a soulful, vibrational, spiritual male that's not of a slave owner Freemasonry influence, if you are a spiritual, vibrational, godly, intuitional, intelligent male like me, and you was birthed into a spiritual, dead, Freemasonry influenced, dysfunctional family, whether it's on your dad's side or your mom's side, let me tell you something. Spiritual vibrational males, soulful vibrational males do not have no freedom of speech in their spiritual dead dysfunctional families, whether it's the mom or the dad side. Because why? It's just like in a slave owner society. The slave owner societies that's ran by Freemasonries and all these devilish evil people, only females have freedom of speech. Males do not have no freedom of speech if they are not evil Masons. You get it? Like all these soulful, vibrational, spiritual males, they don't have no freedom of speech in their dysfunctional, spiritual dead families. Because if that was the dang case, a lot of the aunties, the female cousins, the dysfunctional mothers in the biological families, they will be otherworldly spiritual beings beyond comprehension. If spiritual, vibrational, soulful males of humans have freedom of speech in dysfunctional families, but they don't. Because let me tell you something. Look, every time when I speak, the last time I spoke, a lot of these intuitional, godly, celestial intelligence to zombie, spiritual dead, biological relatives, man, they just look at me like I'm crazy, and they always overtalk me, man. It happens all the time. Every time I be kicking that spiritual talk, anytime I be kicking that intuitional, beyond comprehension, mind, heart, and soul, eyes, spiritual talk, a lot of these spiritual dead biological relatives on my mom's side, they just look at me and they just be so lost, like the sheep that they are, because they just follow the ideologies of these slave owner Masons that fucking whipped and beat a lot of these melanated people of all melanated nationalities way back in fucking Willie Lynch, Jim Crow slavery. It's all true, man. Like, man, only the females in my dysfunctional families have freedom of speech, because majority of the females are like Freemasonry influenced individuals that follow these Freemason ideologies, you know, having fake nails, fake hair and all that shit, drinking alcohol, drinking liquor and smoking and shit. And it fuck up their gene pool. Literally, man. Like me, I don't smoke, I don't drink alcohol, so my gene pool ain't fucked up. My gene pool is not like easily influenced by these Freemasons and all these evil ass satanic slave owner indoctrinations. Literally, man. Cause let me tell you something, man. I don't share my freedom of speech around my own mother. I don't. Because I know where a lot of my biological relatives have been growing up. They've been growing. A lot of my biological relatives on my mom's side, they grew up in the United States. They did not grow up in the Caribbeans. They did not grow up in Congo. They did not grow up in Cuba. They did not grow up. They grew up in a slave owner influenced countries like United States, Canada, United Kingdom. That's why a lot of them are spiritually dead. They're not spiritually in tune. They're not spiritually in tune, soulful beings from like planet Azodio, planet Sadala, Universe 21, Universe 55, and all of them. Like they so like biological relatives on my mom's side that are spiritually dead. They're so influenced by that Freemason shit. It's sad, bro. It's sad. I wish I could just literally backhand them, front hand them, slap them, and just like put some sense in their ass. But they don't get it. They'll never get it, because why? They come from a different spiritual lineage. They come from a different aura lineage than I do. That's what I learned spiritually, man. It sucks, but I accept the shit, man. Like spirit, like, you know, spiritual dead relatives on my mom's side, you know, they have a slave owner coon ass sellout and way of thinking. That's why a lot of the biological cousins on my mom's side don't associate with me, because they think like coons. They think like a bunch of fucking Masons and shit. They think like a bunch of Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and Bowles families and shit like that. They think like a bunch of fraternity brats. That's why they can't relate to me, no matter, even if we speak the same society language. They speak English like I speak English, but they can't relate to me because they don't come from the same celestial frequency as me. You see, they think like Masons, and I think like a whole celestial. I think like a whole extraterrestrial, otherworldly life form, bro. Like, literally. It's really, really sad. It's really, really sad how, you know, soulful vibrational males like me don't have freedom of speech with my biological families, because one, I'm not a female, right? Like, my own mother told me, my own biological mother told me, like, you know, I shouldn't have to scream and rage out at an evil society. Only she can scream, right? She basically said, like, you know, females only have the right to express themselves, but spiritual vibrational males cannot express themselves. You see, that's that slave owner Freemasonry shit, man. And a lot of spiritual dead relatives don't even realize that they're spiritually dead. They might think that they following a righteous path due to the Freemasons religions that they got indoctrinated by when they was younger. See, me, I didn't let myself get indoctrinated by Freemasons religion, because the Freemasons religion spiritualities is nothing but the devil. That's all it is. And a lot of my spiritual dead relatives on my mom's side, they don't see that. You know, because anytime I speak against these Freemason ideologies, majority of the females on my mom's side, they be upset as shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, they be looking at me crazy because I don't call myself a black person. I know what my identity is. I know that I'm an Izodian humanoid from Universe 21. You see that type of stuff be way too deep for them. And they be, you know, a lot of females on my mom's side, they think they're deep because they do all these prayer meetings and stuff like that. But they don't realize that prayer meetings was made by the devilish slave owner Freemasons that runs a fucking judicial slave owner court society. They don't realize and comprehend that. And I don't care to tell they unintelligent asses anything, because they always want to overtalk me, and they never evolve at all. They be thinking like it's the 1940s and shit. I got spiritual dead relatives on my mom's side who think like it's fucking 1940s on some Willie Lynch Jim Crow shit. And me, I'm all the way in the year fucking 3 zillion. Because I'm just way more spiritually advanced than them. It's hard for me to talk to individuals that's not on my level. Like, my own mother told me, like, I gotta dumb myself down for dumbass people. Like, man, I let her know telepathically, like, I'm not about to dumb myself down for some dumbass people who are spiritually dead, that follow Freemason way of living and way of thinking, and all these Freemason evil devilish religions, spirituality, ideologies that don't heal the multiverse, man. I'm not doing that. If an individual is not on my level, if an individual is not on my frequency, if they're not on my soulful, vibrational, otherworldly, celestial, extraterrestrial, beyond comprehension frequency, I don't need to talk to them. I don't care if it's a fucking classmate or a co-worker or a biological relative, man. If they not on my frequency, I'm not talking to them, man, because I don't like talking to spiritual dead people. I can't do it. I don't care if they got the same skin complexion as me, the same hair texture. It don't matter, man. Like, I just cannot do spiritual dead people. I can't do spiritual dead people at all, man, because, like, you know, they like boo-boo the fools. Literally, man. And, like, it's so wrong for a biological relative to tell me that I don't have freedom of speech, and I don't have no right to rage out at a slave owner society, but they can, only because they're so indoctrinated, only because my biological relatives are so indoctrinated by, you know, only females can express themselves, but soulful, vibrational, godly males cannot express themselves. That's a bunch of bullshit right there. That's how I know a lot of the biological relatives on my mom's side, you know, they are so much influenced by the Freemasonry feminist movement that they're not used to soulful, vibrational, godly males speak their truth, speak their all-seeing, my heart, soul, I truth. It's sad, man. And that's why I don't waste my breath with biological cousins, biological aunties, or whoever it is. I just don't waste my breath with biological relatives that are spiritually dead, because I can't save them. They won't save themselves. They won't detach from the slave owner Freemason way of thinking, because any individual that's spiritually dead, they're a bunch of know-it-alls due to slave owner Freemasonry religious thinking, but they don't comprehend nothing spiritually. They don't comprehend nothing soulfully, man. And I can't talk to people like that, bro. It's sad, man. Like, literally, man. And like, my message, I will say, you know, I could be a fucking middle finger to a lot of my spiritual dead relatives on my mom's side. I could be a middle finger to the spiritual relatives on my mom's side that just don't want to detach from the fake ass reality of a slave owner. And they could be mad for life. And I don't care if they don't like me. And look, and when I pass away, whether it's due to heart failure or I get killed for speaking against the evil ass narcissist Freemason slave owner influences, or I pass away due to heart failure, or pass away in my sleep, or whatever natural cause it is, you fake ass spiritual dead biological relatives on my mom's side, don't show no fake ass love on no social media, or show any form of fake ass love when you wasn't there with me, when I was fucking putting y'all weak asses on game, on some true spiritual intelligence, when y'all asses was following this fake ass Freemasonry ideologies that never did shit for the multiverse. Like, I got biological relatives who rather support evil ass Masons before they support some spiritual, soulful, vibrational, in tune biological relative like me. It's sad as fuck, man.